Alright guys, so yes, you read that title correctly. I'm going to show you how my agency brought in about 39 sales calls in just 1 month. So if you do the maths on that, that means we had at least 1 call a day, with some days having multiple calls and some days just having none. So I want to show you how we do this, right? So how we can actually get 39 sales calls, show you the actual proof of my calendar with all the calls booked. I also want to dive into a bit more of our process, how we get that amount of calls, but how we close those clients and what kind of deals we get them on. Alright guys, here we are inside my laptop, and as you can see, we're going to go through and just scroll down here to show you all the calls that we were booked. So we're looking at the month of July here. See, we've got some booked in here. As I'll mention later on, you'll see that there's a few different colors, right? So we've got green, we've got yellow, we've got different ones in there. Each of them means basically a different thing. So yeah, you can see a bunch of calls booked there. This is page 1. Let me just go over to page 2. I've got the screen cropped out here, guys, because I just don't want you guys seeing the full names of the people we have calls with in case you start talking to them yourself. You could even pitch them, you could even rob potential clients from me, so I'm not gonna do that for now. But yeah, as you can see, we've got them all in there. Now, you'll notice that every day is not jam-packed, right? We've some days where we've got like 3, 5, 6 calls, and then we've some days where we just have 1, and we have a lot of days where we have none. So we typically don't take any calls on a Friday or a Sunday. This is something we only started doing in the past few months. We found that it's really important for us to kind of recalibrate and see how everything is going. Whereas when we were on calls every single day, we found that sometimes our performance dropped a bit because we were just constantly on calls, right? Whereas at least now we've got Friday to kind of look back, focus on our other areas of the business and really just focus on that instead of having to hop onto a call. And same with Sunday then again. So yeah, that's it. Look, that's all the calls booked in. I'm going to hop over back onto the camera and we're going to talk about how we get these calls and what you can do to start getting this number of calls yourself. So now you've seen the proof, you've seen all the calls pulled up on my laptop, you've seen all of them over the entire month. So now what I want to touch on is how we get those calls, the systems that we've put in place to actually bring in that amount of calls every single month. So there's 3 key ways in which we are able to get people to book in calls with us. One is personal outreach. Okay, so myself or someone on the team personally reaching out to people. Secondly is referrals, right? We've got a lot of referrals coming in each month now, which is a testament to the service that we give to our clients. And then thirdly, we have an outreach system in place. And the final and biggest lever in how we actually get this amount of calls is we've got a really solid lead generation system in place. Okay, so let's work backwards and go through each of those. So first off, the biggest thing that brings in the most calls for us is our lead generation system. So we have VAs or virtual assistants who follow scripts for us. They DM companies and brands on Instagram and in a couple other places. And from there, we bring them through an entire sequence where we DM them on Instagram. We try and get their email or something from them where we can send them a case study or some extra resources. And from there, we funnel them into booking a call with us. So as I mentioned, that is the biggest lever in our business right now. So without that system, we would not have as many calls as we do right now. I would estimate that at least 50% of the calls are coming from that lead generation system alone. So if you can build a solid lead generation system like this for yourself, you could be looking at bringing in, 15, 20 calls per month minimum. Now, of course, we have to pay people to do that, right? We obviously pay our VAs and our virtual assistants to DM brands and do all of that. But a huge amount of that process is automated. Okay, so once we get some interest from someone over direct message, then our automation kicks in and the VA doesn't have to do anything else. It's a really great relationship because we have the VA doing the grunt work at the very start, and then once they get a small result, our automation takes over and basically takes that person from just hearing about us to now seeing a case study or seeing some results and then actually booking a call with us. So in short, that's how it works, right? VA sends DMs, then VA gets the email from the person, and then our email system takes over and funnels them into booking a call with us. Now, if you're struggling in your agency right now and you want to build a similar system, shoot me a DM on Instagram and we can talk about how I might be able to help you out with that. And secondly, we've got referrals. Okay, so as I mentioned, right now we have a lot of referrals coming in each month. The great thing about this is that although we mightn't get 20 referrals a month, we might just get 5 to 10. The quality of those calls is much higher, right? Because a referral has heard about you from someone who is taking your service, right? So when we have referrals come to us, the close rate is much, much higher. They already have a rough idea of what we do. They know that they know someone that trusts us, so they're going to naturally trust us. So really all we're kind of talking about with them is pricing, what we do, and if they want to get started right now. So here's how you can get referrals coming into your business, okay? If you are just starting off, you're not going to have referrals. It's the harsh reality. We did not have referrals when we started off. We just have it now after building up great results and giving a really good service to our clients. Now, the first and foremost thing you got to do is give a good service. If you don't have a good service, you're just not going to get referrals, right? You need to wow your clients. So when they're talking with their business friends or their business associates who also run maybe a similar company, maybe they're in a similar niche, you need to wow them so that they will go to that person and say, hey, if you need help with your marketing or you need help with Instagram, go to these guys. These guys can help you out. So that's really how referrals work. It's that one key feature at the very start of you've got to give a good service. Give a service that's going to wow them. And if it's really good, they're going to refer people to you naturally, right? Now, the second thing you want to do is you want to have a referral system in place. So our clients know that when they refer someone to us, and if we close them on one of our packages, we will give them a percentage of that package. So for them, it's really great because it means they might get a big discount off their package with us, or they'll literally just get a payment from us with that discount. We also make it very attractive for our clients to refer us in another way. Okay, so what we do is we give our clients the opportunity to give a referral, right, where the referral actually gets something for free at the very start. Okay, so it's this extra value where if a referral signs up with us, our client gets the kickback, gets the percentage, and the person who's just signed up with us, because they came through a referral, we know that they're probably going to be easy to work with and they're probably like-minded with that other client. So we give them a bonus of giving them a couple pieces of content free. So there's 3 parts to the referral system, right? Good service, number 1, most important thing. Secondly, good referral system where we give a percentage to our clients for referring people to us. And then thirdly, we also make it very attractive for our clients to go and pitch people on our service. Because if you were my client, right, and you go to your friend who also has a supplement business and you say, hey, these guys can help you out, right? And if you sign up with them, you'll actually get X amount of content free because I work with them. Really, really attractive for the client, and it makes them look very good. And the third and final way in which we get clients is personal outreach. So as I mentioned, that's either myself or someone on the team personally reaching out to brands or businesses that we think might be a good fit. Now, this is very selective and this is not something we do very systematically, right? We just do this whenever we see someone or we see a brand that we think would be a good fit. We don't go in every day and actively look for these people. We just contact them when they come into our lap and when we see them on Instagram or we see them in a different place. So if you're just starting out, the biggest thing that you can do is focus on the lead generation system, the point number 1. That's really where most of our clients will come from, and it's one that you can control, right? You can't really control referrals that much. You can't really control the personal outreach stuff. It's also hard to kind of control the results you'll get from personal outreach, whereas a solid lead generation system is something that you can control right now. You would have also noticed when we went through the calls there that there was a few different colors for each call, and that basically means that we've got different call booking pages for different types of calls. So for example, we have kind of 2 ideal clients and we have a different link for each one of those, and that is because we can ask them different questions. So if it is a coach, we can ask them certain questions, and if it's a brand, like a company, an e-commerce brand, we can ask them a bunch of different questions. The reason this is really important is because it basically does a lot of our job for us. It means that the business is going to give us a lot of information about how they're doing already, right? So it does the research for us and it qualifies them before we hop on a call. So it saves us time and it saves them time because they don't have to re-explain it to us. We can understand how much they're spending on marketing at the moment, if they're working with someone, what type of results they're looking to get, and what's their big focus or their big goal in the next few months. Now, I also want to mention that we didn't close all those calls, right? We did not have 39 sales calls and close every single one of them. We have a relatively good close rate because we don't sell crazy high-end packages, meaning that sometimes it's a bit easier to pitch people on a deal that is in the hundreds rather than the thousands. Now also, we're picky as well. We want to make sure the people we're working with are good to work with, like they're fun to work with, they're not going to be a crazy burden on us or on our team, and that they can actually commit to working with us for 3 months, right? So we don't really work with brands apart from on a 3-month basis. So if they can't fit into that, that's fine. We're not looking to get a yes from absolutely everyone. We just want to get a yes from the people we want to get a yes from. There's always going to be people who are going to say no, or people that we know are just not going to be able to afford it, or they're just not a good fit. And that's just the way it is. We could be harsher and we could ask them more questions about how much they're willing to spend before they hop on the call, or we could go into a bit more detail into those topics. But ultimately right now we don't need to do that, just because with that number of sales calls it's still very doable for us to hop on 30-40 of them per month. If you're just starting out, those 3 systems I explained to you might sound a bit complicated. What you need to do starting off is do some manual research, do some manual outreach yourself, okay? So literally find businesses on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you're gonna find them, message them, and really just practice that, right? Practice that until you have a script and a formula that actually works, gets people onto calls, and then from there, you can look at automating that process. But we did not automate this process starting off, right? We didn't hire a VA and automate everything from the get-go. I went in and manually figured out what worked, and then when it worked, I got the VA involved, I got the automation set up, so then I could just take my hands off it and let it run. But if you are already getting clients, right, so you already have proven that your way of doing outreach is working, now you should build an automated outreach system, because if you don't, you're going to be trapped in this cycle of working on your clients and then struggling to get new clients. So to recap, if you're fresh and you don't have any clients, focus on manual outreach, dial it in, make sure it works, and then look at automating it once you get a few clients. If you already have clients, focus on the automation side now and build your outreach into a system. If you want to learn about the outreach system that I use, how I automated it, and the scripts and the templates I follow, you can check out the 6-figure roadmap linked in the description, and you will see all the details in there. And if you already have started your journey with SMMA, right, if you have a client or you even have two and you want to just scale that up, book in a call with me down below. We can discuss and see if my one-to-one program would be able to help you go from where you're at right now with maybe just 1 or 2 clients to that next level of 5 to 10 clients. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.